Hey guys, what's up? JK with Porn Reboot here. Hope everyone is having a wonderful afternoon. I'm about to go for an afternoon run. It's fall here already. Not too excited about the fall because I like running when it's a little hot outside, when there's a little bit of heat. But it is what it is. The weather changes, right? So brothers, today I'm going to be answering a question by one of our brothers in our Porn Reboot private group. This is a free group, and if you're not a part of it yet, you should go ahead and join it. But I'm posting this in the group as well. Anyway, the question was one that I hadn't received in a while, and I thought it was a great one. And this brother had asked, he was like, JK, how do I deal with the loss of porn in my life? He's like, I know it's a big lie, and I get all that good stuff, but he's like, it's really been a part of my life for a very long time. So, how do I let it go? How do I just deal with the fact that it's no longer there because I experience loneliness because it's been filling this hole for me? And that's a great question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a little peek into one of the things that we do in some of my programs. Now, the reality, brothers, is that pornography is often your first relationship. Most of us were watching porn and masturbating before we first got into a romantic relationship that involved intimacy and that involved sex. And when you went through tough times, when you were stressed out, when you were upset, when you were lonely, when you were bored, porn and masturbation filled the role that a girlfriend or a romantic partner, a spouse would have filled. So it comforted you, when you were sad. It calmed you down when you were angry. It occupied your time when you were bored. It kept you company when you felt lonely, you felt nobody cared. And you built a relationship with it. A biochemical relationship. Not the most healthy relationship, but the relationship nonetheless. I think a lot of men find it very difficult to kind of deal with that gap because often online, a lot of men that talk about stop masturbating, stop viewing pornography, control this behavior, they only look at a man's past with pornography in a very negative light. Porn took all these things from you. Porn did all these negative things. And because of that, it's quite challenging to truly move on. See, if you want to really, let's say if you were going through a breakup with somebody, the breakup is worse when neither of you are able, well, especially you, are able to acknowledge the positive parts of that relationship. But when you can look at the positive parts of the relationship and say, hey, right now it's absolutely horrible. Right now it's not bringing anything positive to my life. But I did grow as a human being in the past due to the relationship. There were some really positive things. Hey, we had some good times. And let's acknowledge those good times. Let's be thankful for those moments we had. But now, this relationship no longer serves us. That's a healthier way to leave a relationship because you don't leave it filled with negativity. You leave it understanding that there was something positive and that moving forward, the next relationship, whatever that relationship is, that there are positive things that you can gain from that. And that, in the Porn Reboot system, is the same way you exit your behavior, your compulsive behavior with pornography and masturbation or other out-of-control sexual behaviors, right? We acknowledge the fact that porn did all these positive things for us, which I mentioned earlier. For some of you, you wouldn't know where to put your penis the first time you were having sex, if not for pornography. It wasn't the biology books that helped you with that, right? So it did play some of its positive roles. I have men write that out and fully, openly, without any negativity, acknowledge all the positive things that pornography has done for you. Just get it all out there. And then after that, another piece of paper, acknowledge the fact that while that was great, it's over now. Like, we're done. It's not serving me at this phase in my life. You're essentially going through a breakup. So that's the first part. The second part to this is acknowledging the grief, right? So you are grieving the loss of a relationship, as crazy as that might sound. But many guys don't want to acknowledge that. You know, they're like, no, it's all these negative things, but why am I still drawn to it? It's just like saying you want to break up with a woman, right? The woman doesn't have the right personality for you, but she has a very sexy body. You enjoyed having sex with her. But everything else about the relationship was toxic, right? It wasn't healthy at all. Every time you go back to have sex with this woman, you feel like you should be in a relationship with her, but it's just so bad and it tears you down in every aspect of your life. That's the way we view letting our relationship with pornography go. We are not fully ready to grieve the loss of both the positive things and the negative things. Positive things also include that amazing feeling you get when you orgasm. But of course, at the same time, you have to acknowledge the fact that, hey, the things that I used to orgasm to, very different from the things I orgasm to now. In the past, I'd orgasm to stuff and I was like, that was amazing. Now, the stuff I orgasm to, man, I feel shame and guilt because I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching messed up stuff like this. So brothers, you have to go through the grieving process and understand that it takes time for you to let go. Just as when you break up with somebody that you had very strong feelings for, if you keep hopping on that person's Facebook, social media, Snapchat, and seeing what they're doing, you are still stimulating the release of those neurochemicals that made you attached to that person in the first place. So if you don't know what's happening with their life, it's still gonna hurt. At night, you're still gonna have urges to want to be with them, to hold them, to hug them. Sometimes you're still gonna imagine that, oh, you know, maybe they're with somebody else. Maybe I made a mistake. This is harder than I thought it was. But understand that with the process of grieving, when you give it time, it will pass. Now you might be like, well, JK, that sounds simplistic as it applies to recovery from an out-of-control sexual behavior. Maybe simplistic, but it is very, very powerful when you apply it to your addiction. On a psychological level, it's a very, very strong mindset. So, the answer to your question is, well, in summary, I've already answered your question, brother. In order to deal with the loneliness, to accept the loneliness and that hole in your life, treat it as you would a breakup from a relationship with another. And all the other things that you would do, fill that space with it. Again, self-care, new hobbies. And if you were using pornography, in different cases, some people are just addicted to pornography, their brain rewired to exposing themselves repeatedly to high-speed internet pornography, but they're not really using it as a coping skill. But if you have been using it as a coping skill, well, the next step during the grieving process is to start developing the coping skills for those things that you're using porn to medicate, things like stress and loneliness, you know, lack of intimacy, and very, very strong emotions as well. All right? So brothers, I hope you found that helpful. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you later in the